Have you ever wanted to be stronger, bigger than the greatest challenges in your life? If you have, then you're not alone. In fact, there's one man who truly embodies this desire, Okonkwo.
Now it's my pleasure to introduce. Thank you very much. Thank you.
As the main character of Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart, Okonkwo grows up in the patriarchal Umuofia, an Igbo village in Nigeria. Here, masculinity is not only encouraged, but required in order to raise a family, and it is expected to be able to hold positions of power. Even in our own society, there are expectations that a boy will grow up a strong, emotionless, hard worker. While these may seem like positive attributes, they can also lead many to suppress their inner worries and mental issues beneath the guise of a powerful, independent man. That is to say, many men use masculinity to compensate for their insecurities and bury their emotions. To better understand why, we must first understand the insecurities. For Okonkwo, they all stem from his father. Unoka is incredibly unsuccessful. He is a nearsighted man who does not think past the present. As a result, he owes everyone in the village money, with no intention of paying them back. To top it all off, he has not a single yam to his name. And in Igbo society, yams measure the wealth and determine the status of a man. Thus, Unoka has no titles, no wealth. He dies an utter failure in the eyes of the tribe, and more importantly, in the eyes of his son, Okonkwo, who grows up striving to be everything his father was not: successful, brave, hard-working. But, as Chinua Achebe writes, his whole life was dominated by fear, the fear of failure and of weakness. It was the fear of himself, lest he should be found to resemble his father. Similarly, there is Zenitsu from Demon Slayer. As the title suggests, the show centers around adolescents who are trained as soldiers to kill man-eating demons. They are meant to be fearless guardians of humans. However, Zenitsu is a coward. His entire life, he has run away from his problems and cries in the face of adversity. At the same time, he hates himself more than anyone else, ashamed that he is so weak.
俺が一番自分のこと好きじゃない。ちゃんとやらなきゃっていつも思うのに、怯えるし、逃げるし、泣きますし。変わりたい。ちゃんとした人間になりたい。
Despite this, one person has cared for him: his teacher. This old man, who Zenitsu affectionately calls Jin-san, or Gramps, takes him on as a demon slayer's apprentice. Zenitsu constantly tries to escape his training by running away or climbing up a tree, but Ji-chan always manages to drag him back. Unlike everyone else in Zenitsu's life, he has never abandoned him.
Zenitsu, 極めろ。泣いていい。逃げてもいい。ただ諦めるな。信じるんだ。地獄のような鍛錬に耐えた日々、お前は必ず報われる。極限まで叩き上げ、誰よりも強靭な刃になれ。
Both Zenitsu and Okonkwo are pushed to be stronger. Okonkwo by the memory of his lazy and incompetent father, and Zenitsu by his teacher's encouraging words. At the same time, the two harbor deep insecurities. Okonkwo is afraid that people will compare him to his failure of a father, while Zenitsu is ashamed of his cowardly nature. Instead of really facing these anxieties, they use masculinity and strength to overpower them. However, Okonkwo does not only cover up his insecurities, he also covers up his emotions. A prime example of this is when Okonkwo adopts Ikemefuna. Because a member of another tribe killed a resident of Umuofia, that tribe must offer up a young man and virgin. Okonkwo is heavy-handed with Ikemefuna, the boy who is offered up and placed in his care. Eventually, though, he treats him as one of his own. Despite harboring affection for Ikemefuna, Okonkwo never readily shows it, as he thinks that would make him look weak. Unfortunately, it is not meant to be. When an elder of the village informs Okonkwo that Ikemefuna must be killed in order to appease the oracle, he tells Okonkwo not to play a hand in his death. However, after a group of men take Ikemefuna to the outskirts of the village, Achebe writes, Okonkwo heard Ikemefuna cry, "My father, they have killed me," as he ran towards him. Dazed with fear, Okonkwo drew his machete and cut him down. He was afraid of being thought weak. In this chilling moment, our strong protagonist suppresses his emotions to such a degree that he drives a blade into his own son, placing his ego over Ikemefuna's life. In reality, he did not have to kill Ikemefuna or even hurt him. He did not have to do anything. He willingly chose to commit an act he would soon tearfully regret. Comparably, there is the Colonel from John Green's Looking for Alaska. Chip, who goes by the Colonel, is the narrator Miles' roommate at Clover Creek boarding school. He is a stereotypical, well-built tough guy who drinks, smokes, and picks fights. His father is a drinker, and he lives with his mother. The two are divorced. When Miles, through the Colonel Doves Pudge, asks about the school, the Colonel says, "You have to be careful here, with students and teachers, and I do hate being careful." However, he is not one-sided. When a group of guys duct tape and throw Pudge into the lake, the Colonel says, "We will deal with these bastards, Pudge. I promise you. They will regret messing with one of my friends." This shows the Colonel's more sensitive side, contrasting his more abrasive attitude as one that truly cares for his friends, even Pudge. This is similar to how Okonkwo cares for Ikemefuna, but only internally. Both these characters struggle to be masculine, while also looking after the ones they care about. Both often resort to physical force to resolve conflicts, the Colonel even acting tough in front of Pudge. In essence, they cover up their emotions to seem stronger and more masculine. Each of these men, Zenitsu, the Colonel, and Okonkwo, are complex and contrasting characters. Nevertheless, they all use the idea of masculinity to control some aspect of themselves. Zenitsu wants to be stronger because his master encouraged him, while Okonkwo wants to be stronger in fear of resembling his weak father. Similarly, the Colonel wants to take care of his friends, but also maintain a tough facade, while Okonkwo loves Ikemefuna as his son, but still kills him to appear fearless in front of the other men. And while these are all fictional characters, the pressures they feel to be more masculine are very much present in the real world. My own father has anxiety and other mental health issues, but he never brought it up until it became too much to bear. Where he grew up, it would have been seen as weak or at the very least an uncomfortable topic to talk about. And that's why these kinds of exhortations for men and really anyone can be so detrimental. There shouldn't be any set model for any person. Instead of compensating for their insecurities, people should confront the aspects of themselves they dislike, change what they can, but learn to accept what they can't change. Instead of suppressing their emotions, they should embrace them and realize that it's a natural part of being human. Because Okonkwo has never been told this, his own ideas of what a man should be color his every thought, word, and action. Because these ideas lead to such terrible consequences, the moral of the story becomes clear. Men should not have to be masculine. Oh my god, this is so bad. Anyways, thank you if you got this far, especially if you are Miss Packet, for watching that entire video. I did not expect it to be that long, but you know, it just happened. Yeah, thank you so much for watching all of it, and it was pretty fun to make, so yeah, thank you.